Jalen Green had relatively high expectations going into his second NBA season. The second overall pick had a very strong end to his rookie season after he struggled at the start of the rookie season. However, in year 2, many believe that Jalen didn't take the leap that was expected based on the indicators from the end of his rookie season. Many of you know that Jalen Green is one of my favorite basketball players. I've been following his career since high school. I was super high on him as a draft prospect. To this day, he still is the highest graded shooting guard prospect I've ever evaluated. I went back and I watched a decent amount of the tape when it comes to Jalen Green this season in preparation for this video, and I do think that I have come to a very similar conclusion that I did at the end of his rookie season. Do I think he had his ups and downs in year 2? Yes, I do. The ups and downs are very evident on tape. Does the year 2 tape change my thoughts about what I think about his upside as a player? I don't think that at all. Even with the ups and downs, I still see the signs that make me believe that Jalen Green has super high potential as a player, and I still think he's still on track to be one of the best scorers in the NBA one day. I think it would be unfair to say that Jalen Green didn't improve from his rookie season to his sophomore season. His numbers did get better. His points went up, his rebounds went up, and his assists went up from year 1 to year 2. And 22.1 points a game, 3.7 rebounds a game, and 3.7 assists per game in your age 20 NBA season is something that should be encouraging. Now, I do think it also should be noted that his efficiency did drop. His field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, 2-point percentage, effective field goal percentage, and true shooting percentage all took a dip from year 1 to year 2. However, I'm not actually too worried about the efficiency dips because he saw an increase in his volume and usage percentage from rookie to sophomore season. And it's not uncommon to see an efficiency drop with increased workload, especially with young scoring guards. Damian Lillard saw a decrease in field goal percentage and effective field goal percentage when he took the jump from second star to main option in Portland. Bradley Beal saw a decrease in field goal percentage, 2-point percentage, true shooting percentage, and effective field goal percentage when he saw an increase in volume and usage going from the second star to the main star in Washington. Paul George saw a decrease in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, 2-point percentage, effective field goal percentage, and true shooting percentage when he saw an increase in volume and usage percentage, as well as making the jump to all-star level player. I'm not saying it's a guarantee that Jalen will be any of those players. 2 of those players are future first ballot Hall of Famers and top 3 to 5 players at their position for their generation, and the other had back-to-back 30-plus point per game seasons. Although I do think that Jalen has star upside. My point is that I wouldn't let an efficiency drop change the fact that the numbers seeing improvement with Jalen is encouraging, even with how bad the Rockets were this season, and even with, again, that efficiency drop. I do think he showed what he was capable of when putting up those numbers, and what he could be capable of in the future, especially for a second-year player in his age 20 season. I am still very encouraged by his upside as a finisher. He shot 55.1% in the restricted area on 5 attempts per game. He shot 51% on 6.5 basket finishing attempts per game, which is layups, dunks, floaters, anything within the paint, restricted and non-restricted area. He's a freak athlete, and it's very evident on tape. He has absurd vertical pop and vertical range, both of which are among the best in the league. His quickness and burst is incredible. He has great body control and flexibility. He plays stronger than his frame suggests, and I do think that he has shown very encouraging improvements and indicators as a rim pressure threat. On top of his tools and traits, his increase in free throw attempts and free throw attempt rate has been very encouraging, as he averaged 6.1 free throw attempts per game with a 34.1 free throw attempt rate. It's very encouraging to see these kind of numbers from a year 2 scoring guard that's only 186 pounds. He has a lot of tools and indicators that suggest that he can be one of the most dangerous rim pressure threats in basketball. Now, I do think that he needs to continue to add functional strength to his frame, and work on his handle, because he does get bullied a bit physically at times, and he does lose the basketball at times. But again, he still is super young, so I think in due time that can get better. And I feel the same way about the handle as well. The fact that he is this good of a slasher with the handle still being a work in progress speaks to how special of an athlete that he really is, because it takes a special athlete to do what he does as a slasher with an inconsistent handle. And on top of that, I think he has shown real progress with his handle as well. He saw improvement from high school to G League, he saw improvement from G League to his rookie season, and he saw improvement from his rookie season to this season, although I do think it still needs work. And those are the only real issues I have with Jalen as a finisher on tape. If he continues to add more functional strength and improve his handle, he has a chance to be one of the best rim pressure threats in the league and the best overall slashing guard in the league. Now, the real key with Jalen Green as an offensive creator is his shooting and shot creation ability. Green shot 36.4% on 6.6 attempts per game in terms of shots that I would classify as shot creation attempts beyond 8 feet. That includes pull-up shots, turnaround shots, step backs, driving floaters, and running jumpers, which is an okay efficiency split on good volume in terms of those kind of shots. Green has always showcased a real shot creation ability, and like with his finishing, I do think that the strength getting better and the handle getting better will expand his ability in this area, and he has shown improvement in this area numbers wise, because last season he shot 35.5% on 3.9 creation attempts per game, so he saw a 0.9% increase in efficiency with a 2.7 volume increase. On top of that, I was also encouraged by his improvements as a mid-range shooter. His rookie season, he shot 38.5% on 1.5 attempts per game in the mid-range area. This season, he shot 40.3% on 2.6 mid-range attempts per game. Not the most volume ever for a mid-range shooter, and it's not like I think he will ever be like DeMar DeRozan in this area, but I do think that he utilized the mid-range more in year 2, and the volume going up is improvement nonetheless, and I think that the efficiency going up is encouraging nonetheless, especially considering he's a high volume 3-point shooter. Now, his 3-point shooting did see a regression efficiency-wise this season, but considering the volume increase and the fact it wasn't a massive drop in efficiency, I'm not too worried about it. In fact, I do think a lot of his inefficiency as a shooter is more about shot selection than ability. I don't think Jalen Green is a bad shooter. I think he's a player capable of making difficult shots. He just doesn't fully understand the difference between capability in tough shot making and appliance in tough shot making. It's very common for young guards to struggle with the difference between being capable of taking a shot and knowing if it's the right shot to take. It does have to be something that will improve with Jalen if he wants to reach his full potential, obviously. But where he's at now in terms of shot selection does line up with a decent amount of really good scoring guards, both past and present, when they were this age in year 2 of their NBA careers. Not many players have the shot creating talent that Jalen Green has, and I'm willing to bet on him improving in this area efficiency wise because of that. Now, as far as passing goes, it's still a work in progress. I know Jalen has this reputation as a ball hog that's selfish and doesn't want to pass. I've seen that sentiment many times in the comment section of videos I've made about him in the past, but as someone who's been watching his tape for 5 years now, I never really felt that way when I watched the tape. I think there is a difference between being a ball hog who doesn't want to pass and naturally being wired to score, which results in tunnel vision at times. I know it sounds like I just said the same thing in 2 different ways, but what I mean by this is that I never got the sense that Jalen Green is a selfish player on tape. Yes, he does have tunnel vision problems, as do a lot of young scorers, but I never feel like he's disgusted by the idea of making a play for a teammate or making a pass in the flow of the offense, like I have seen with other young scoring guards. In this regard, he reminds me a lot of Anthony Edwards in the sense of having those tunnel vision problems, but not giving off the vibe of being a selfish player. I don't think Jalen Green will ever be a big-time playmaker, but I also don't think he's a bad passer either. And I do think he has shown signs on tape to be encouraged to the point where he won't be a one-dimensional player long-term. I think realistically he's on track to be what Bradley Beal and Anthony Edwards are as passers, guys who have decent understanding of scoring gravity and can find open teammates. And I do think a super optimistic high-end outcome for what Jalen Green can be as a passer and playmaker is Brandon Ingram, who is one of the better passing wings in the league now. Granted, it's not an outcome I think is realistic, but it is possible. And mind you, it took Ingram 7 NBA seasons to get to that point. I just think the idea that Jalen Green will be this one-dimensional offensive player who's only a scorer is false. I don't think he'll be Luka Doncic or James Harden as a passer, but I do think he can be a good passer in the context of what his role is as an offensive player. I think Jalen Green was better than the public perception around him this season. I do understand the concerns about his efficiency, some of his body language on the court, and the Rockets in general, but I really don't see anything that suggests that he still isn't that future scoring star I saw as a rookie. He saw improvement as a creator. He saw improvement with his handle. He saw improvement as a mid-range shooter. He saw improvement as a foul drawer and rim pressure threat. And I still feel the same way I did about the other areas as I did in his rookie season. I do think he needs to continue to improve, obviously, but I would still be encouraged by his potential after this season. It was a rough situation team-wise for him, as it is for a lot of young players who were top draft picks. This is the first time in his life that he's losing basketball games at this rate, and I do understand the concerns that Rockets fans may have, but for me personally, based off watching his tape, and you can feel free to disagree, I still see all the signs of stardom. I have one philosophy that I will always stick by in terms of projections and evaluation. The more things you have that can't be taught, the more I will believe in your ability to be a star. And Jalen has things you can't teach. You can't teach his scoring talent and shot creating ability, and you can't teach his athleticism. Because of that, I still believe that Jalen Green has potential to be one of the best shooting guards in basketball. Is it a guarantee that he becomes one? No. That's something only time can tell. But based off his tools and what he shows on tape, I am confident that he can become one. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, notified whenever I release a video. I'm making videos about basketball all the time, so if that's something that interests you, really think you enjoy this channel, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways you can help me out, help support the channel, helps me out in the YouTube algorithm so more people find my video. So in turn, it helps my channel grow and I can make more content for you guys in the future. Let me know what you think about Jalen Green in the comment section below. Were you encouraged by his year 2? Were you worried after year 2? What do you think his upside is? Love to hear all down in the comment section below. That being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.